Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first and only instance of Bandit Emblem. You are all my friends who I've conscripted with their will, with their consent, under the bribe of pizza, probably, or maybe they just really care about me enough to join me in raiding the Fire Emblem bandits. Now you might ask yourself, what is a bandit? And it's really more of a feeling than anything. But generally, it's someone that works in a group to try and steal. And that's their profession. They have no other profession. There are some people whose bandit energy was enough to put them on this list, even though technically they don't meet the criteria. You'll actually see the first person is one of those. But most of them meet at least these criteria. So, moving on to the rules. Each participant is going to choose whether or not they want to give a candidate an emoji for each category. We have the heart for charm, which is just a general, I like this character. A fire for heat, or how much the character has a fire emoji to them. And lastly, we have the peach for thickness, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you'll see is very apt for many of these candidates. First and foremost, while technically not a bandit, Acheron does spend his introductory chapter in Fire Emblem reclaiming land that was never his to claim. He is a fan-favorite character, and he is known by his quote, as they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not in for a beating, am I? So, let's begin. On a scale of heart emoji to not giving them a heart emoji, I'm going to go around and ask everyone, do you like this character, based purely on his image and this quote?
It is hard to say. He's definitely a bandit, stealing land, but I'm not sure. I don't think he has my heart, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be picky initially.
Tiffany, does Acheron deserve your heart?
He does not have a soul, so he does not deserve my heart. I can see that in his eyes.
Well,
I don't think I'm going to give him my heart.
okay. Parker, no?
Really, he's a disappointment to all of us so far. That's all I've got to say.
That's true. Alright, Micah.
Yeah, no heart for me. Gotta say he's pretty weak for a start.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm comparing him to, so like it's a little bit hard to say, but yeah, I'm gonna go no heart. He's making some stylistic choices that like I don't know that I would make if I were, you know.
Has anybody given him a heart yet?
No.
Alright, make it over 7. Get this guy out of here. What a nerd.
Acheron, I personally enjoy Acheron. He's a spineless noble, which really represents
So charming.
a lot of people in the real world, and I think that realism really appeals to me. Alright, and next we'll go around with the fire emoji. So, does anyone think Acheron deserves a fire emoji?
Explain
Look at
yourself.
the way his hair curls.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking.
respect that.
I don't. I actively don't respect
Yeah.
He put some work into that, and I can respect that. So
But
he's
should-
My favorite part is how it's
servants.
is the curl.
Okay,
That
can
irritates me.
I get an explanation of heart versus fire?
Fire is like, how attractive is this?
Okay, and heart is just like
Like charm.
Heart is like,
I
I
don't
like
like
this
these people.
character.
I don't
I know.
That's a
Exactly. None of us do.
Am I right in interpreting that like fire would be like I could see like a one night stand
Yes,
in the sky.
absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
Heart
like,
would be like, you know, I don't want to marry.
it's like,
Okay, relationship versus one night
yeah,
stand.
yeah. So heart is a catch-all.
Really like
I like
girls.
this. I like this character, but not for any of the other categories. Fire is like,
The
I
hot.
physically want this character.
I
I want to be close to them. I want to feel their touch.
Thank you.
There's a lot of things
I could say that.
And unfortunately, you can't take back.
I'm dating you, so how I like this character makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
There's a lot of
I also
similarities.
contribute spineless, pathetic noble. I agree. So, lastly, of course, we have thickness. Acheron, not very thick, I'm gonna say. I don't think he deserves any peach emojis, but does someone disagree with you?
He's got a thick emoji in the sense that he's got a butt cut. That's about
That's all around a disappointment.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Acheron.
Get him out.
It's saying hidden.
Right.
Oh.
We got what you should expect from a lot of these. This is Agony, one of two brothers who form a basically bandit ring of just themselves and their friends. They live in a crypt and they steal gold from the oppressed peoples of Dane, who were basically like Germany after World War I. So They like to eat people. They're cannibals, but they also steal money because they're also bandits. Additionally, though you can't see it here, he actually has a tiger's tail, and you can kind of see he has tiger ears. They're kind of the side of his head with the purplish color. He is a, they're called lagoons. He can turn into a tiger.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Grr, what's this? Looks like a tasty snack turned up while we were out.
When he eats the people, is he in tiger form or is he in human form?
He doesn't specify, but I would assume human form because tiger form is reserved for combat.
Okay, so he's a barbarian that wild shapes.
So, first off, I'm gonna say I count muscle as thickness. You don't all have to do that. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm with you, man.
I have at least 2 peach emojis.
Yeah.
Anyone else? 3, 4, 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Across the board, 8 for 8, baby.
All right.
I mean, just
I mean, that man is thick.
You can see a six-pack up at the top of his fucking chest.
Look at that bicep.
How many abs does this man have?
Now, fire emoji. Who would say that they're attracted to Agony from Radiant Dawn?
You know,
Let's go, Micah. I'm with you.
Paper bag is cheap, dude.
All right, you got
Hello.
it. Alice is joining in.
I can agree with that philosophy. Like, I mean, he looks like a nice, strong man. Probably cradle me in his arms, you know.
Exactly.
Look,
Think of the
I don't think he looks like a not strong man.
Well, no,
He's
no.
definitely a strong man.
No, that's why you draw like a kind-looking face on the back.
Whether or not you're a man or woman, you're guaranteed that he's gonna eat you out at the end of the time.
yikes!
Yeah.
It's gonna be a.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
want
not
fear for my life, so I'm gonna go with not fire.
Look, he gets
And not heart.
look, he gets a fire because he's sick. He does not get a heart because yes, I also fear for my life.
All right, and lastly, we have
that's
the
the
heart
reason
emoji.
normally they all like
Who really loves Agony? So see, for me, Agony has a special place in my heart because you haven't met his brother yet, but his brother is just him palette swapped with the same personality. We'll get to him later. And as a result, also, I really enjoy, that he is a cannibal and he's not afraid to tell everyone, especially because he's a cannibal that's fighting against the people that oppressed him. So I really believe that Agony deserves the heart emoji. So I'll give him at least mine. Is anyone else sharing this thing?
You get that big verse of my male pattern baldness, and I think that.
Next we have the Axe Bandit from Fire Emblem Echoes, which is a quote from definitely a real Axe Bandit. I should take a moment to bone up on the proper use of my instrument of justice. He's a generic character. Not gonna lie, kind of sucks. I don't think he deserves any hearts, but I do think there's just something about that smile.
He does not smile.
So for that, he deserves my fire emoji. He's also pretty thick, so I'm gonna give him a thick emoji.
We're gonna go with thick and fire, despite the fact that my man has a flat nose.
I was just the one guy,
Impressive.
the only bandit really that has teeth.
I will also be giving him a thick and a fire. I wasn't gonna give him a fire until I read this quote about boning up.
Yikes!
Based on where his hands are, I'm wondering what this instrument of justice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna give him any.
Okay.
He's not quite thick enough for me. I mean,
He is a
like,
little less thick.
the other guy was
Yeah.
pretty thick. He's a little bit more streamlined, I
I
think.
think he's trying too hard. I'm not gonna give him anything. He's really he put it all out there on the line, and
All right, no thick, no fire. I'm debating on giving him a heart because that smile was nice, but the little eye glare ruins it.
Yeah, definitely not thick. His arms and his face are kind of like thick, but then he just like kind of like his body's like sunk in.
He got
Like,
big
so he's
old-
so anti-thick, just like in that one area where I feel like thickness does like come into play there. Definitely not fire. I do respect the smile, but it's not like a Duchenne smile where it's like it goes to his eyes and his eyes look scary. So it kind of like cancels out some like the genuineness feeling of that smile. So I'm gonna give it just nothing.
He's not getting a thick from me.
Okay.
He is muscular, but not thick.
That's true.
But he absolutely gets a heart and a fire emoji for me. Look at that man. Look at
Yeah.
the charm exuded in that smile, and just that. He's just cheesing. Like, I don't know what to say.
I
He
feel
is.
you.
Some people want that.